Alrighty, we are back. Welcome back. 24 hours after a brilliant win against Milwaukee, we are back for what is game number 31. It is the Nets taking on the San Antonio Spurs. It'll be the first meeting of the season and, the second last of the season where we match up against Victor Wembanyama. And goodness gracious me, this lineup that I've just laid my eyes on is incredibly disgusting. I mean, no Cam Johnson tonight, a late scratch with a hip contusion. Dorian Finney-Smith is back. And Noah Clowney has been shifted to the bench. I'm assuming purely for fit because we don't have really any backup bigs, and no Ben Simmons available either. So that's why Shake Milton's been given the start. Finney-Smith is back. Claxton and Keon Johnson hold their place. However, it looks like we're going to see some increased run for some two-way players, I would assume. I assume Beekman's going to get minutes because, we don't even have a primary ball handler in this team. Without Simmons, I mean, Milton's playing the one, and he's probably going to get major point guard responsibility. But really, I think we're going to have to play Beekman. We're probably going to see minutes from Dariq Whitehead as well, because of that lack of wing depth that we have or don't have today. Clowney's shifted to the bench. Wilson has been playing starter level minutes. He is starting today, having come off the bench in the last few matches. Milton yesterday had a brilliant game. I mean, he had 14 points in the fourth quarter, and that was probably the difference. It got us back into the contest. It gave us the momentum we needed, and then the rest of the team rallied behind him, and they carried it right the way through. Carried it forward. So, that was really good to see. Even though Shake Milton's probably not a long-term piece we have, he still is like 24, 25, maybe 26 even. But he's had some really good games this season. He had a bit of a down patch for the last couple of games, but he picked up the form in the second half of that match against Milwaukee last night. Of course, we return home after that away leg of this back-to-back. The Spurs start with Paul, Vassell, Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. I don't know why I paused on Victor Wembanyama, but he is going to be an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. Now, last night, Brook Lopez hit, I think, 4 threes in the first half, and was an absolute pain in the ass to deal with in that first half. That's what gave the Bucks the advantage that they needed going into the halftime break. But the Bucks wouldn't have been happy with the halftime break that they did have, and that kept the Nets in the game. Yesterday, the big thing for the Nets, getting to the free throw line, that was a massive, there was a massive disparity in the Nets' favor, so that was pretty key. And then, the three-point shooting really boosted in the back end of the game. I mean, we were seeing threes left, right, and center. Milton hitting threes. Cam Johnson hit a clutch three, which I don't think I've been able to say for like a couple of years since he's been in the squad. And Noah Clowney hit an absolute prayer of a three. Keon Johnson hit a big three. It was a massive fourth quarter, a bombardment of three-point makes, and we scored 35 points in the fourth quarter to the Bucks 26 or 23, should I say. So we flipped the script. We shot the ball really well. You can see the team stats for last night's game coming onto your screen right now. The 21 turnovers was the big issue last night. We actually forced 22 turnovers or 23 turnovers and got 32 points off of those. But 21 turnovers is still way, way too much. The offensive rebounding was pretty good. It was very even, the rebounding, even though we were probably playing with a bit of a smaller team, and definitely a less physical team. But we were getting into those passing lanes, getting those knockaways, and getting those fast break opportunities or just getting extra possessions, which are really, really important, or were really important at the time. Noah Clowney, massive game yesterday. 20 points he shot, 6 of 9 from deep. That was a career best mark from 3 in a game, and it signals a 2-game stretch where he's hit 10 3-pointers on over 50% shooting. So I've placed him in the spotlight today. He's coming off the bench, but I do feel as if he's going to jack up quite a few 3-pointers. At least that is the suspicion. Claxton's going to need a big one today. He had 13 and 7, as you can see on the screen. Especially when there's no Cam Johnson. I really don't know where the scoring's coming from today. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We've got lots of small guards. I mean, yeah, Wemby's probably going to get a ton of blocks. That's for certain, based off your comment. I think, well, Wembanyama's, I think they played yesterday, but there was a game they played on Christmas. I believe that was the game where he was the first player in NBA history to get 40 points or more, 15 rebounds or more, 5 3-pointers made or more, and 4 blocks or more in a game. So he was just unreal. He's a demigod. He's going to be incredibly tough to stop. I don't even know who's going to be the assignment, because Claxton actually is a really good assignment for him. Like, he's a very similar build to Wembanyama. He's not nearly as tall enough, or nearly as tall as he is, but that being said, I feel like Claxton's actually a really good matchup for Wembanyama. Purely because he's lanky, he's tall, and he can defend the perimeter, which has seemed to be, well, that's probably a good starting point to stop Wembanyama's strengths. He's been hitting threes at a good clip, and, well, he's incredible in terms of, like, his wingspan's crazy. So, I mean, you need as much wingspan on the defensive end as you can in order to stop him, and Claxton definitely will be a helping hand in that respect. So, hopefully we've got a, well, we'll give him a good crack. I mean, I don't know if we're going to win this game. We have won, or sorry, the Spurs have won 2 of the last 3 matchups. The 2 games last year, it was a season series split. We beat the Spurs in February by 20, and in that game, Wembanyama scored 21. We had 25 from Cam Thomas, 20 from Claxton, and 15 from Schroeder off the bench. DSJ had 14. But then in the second meeting, I do believe we choked. No, we didn't. It was pretty close. I think Schroeder tied the game late, and he scored 19 in the match. Cam Thomas had 31. We had a pretty short rotation. Cam Johnson was coming off the bench. How far he's come. But Wembanyama had 33, 15, 7 assists, and 7 blocks. Keldon Johnson had 24 off the bench. Vassell had 25. So it's pretty clear where the scoring source is gonna come from. Are we ready for this butt whipping? Yeah, I mean, looking at this starting lineup, we should not be in this game at any stage. But if we are, I mean, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. Yesterday was probably the best chance we had, but, you know, I feel like things could potentially, I think things will potentially go to normality today, and we won't get into this contest. I think they'll get off to a fast start, and maybe there's going to be no turning back, but I've been surprised multiple times this season. I was yesterday. So look, if we somehow win this game with this starting lineup, I mean, at this point, like, there's probably got to be cries for Jordi Fernandez to just, like, go away for, like, the rest of the season. And we can say it's, like, I don't know, personal reasons or some shit. Because this guy is just, he's exceeding the expectations already. You know, and if he can win with the squad we have, I wouldn't know what to tell you. I seriously think it's impossible, but Nothing is impossible. Wembanyama wins the jump ball, though, to absolutely no one's surprise. And we are underway. The Nets, in case you missed it, the starting five is Finney-Smith, Milton, who nearly knocked the ball away just now, Wilson, Claxton, and Keon Johnson. That's a Vassell mid-range. It hits the heel. They get the offensive rebound, and Harrison Barnes will step into a tray and miss as well. So a rebound for Jalen Wilson. The Nets will get into their first offensive set of the match. It's Milton on the outside who will give it to Claxton. He's going to, well, he needs to have an increased role, but the problem is Wembanyama's the direct assignment, so I would probably nail him on to get a couple of blocks. Johnson, deep two, he's got it as the shot clock expires. Very late in the clock. And that's not what I could have anticipated. Are we going to get a Keon Johnson legacy game? He had a good ending to the match last week. Wembanyama on the perimeter will set the screen for Paul. Wembanyama was open under the basket. That's poor by Clax. Completely lost him. And Wembanyama gets on the board early for two. So they're going to need to, well, try prevent Wembanyama from getting touches. Wilson gets inside and scores off the window for two. Nice little body bump to get into the paint. And Wembanyama was not able to be effective as a help defender. That's a good rotation across by Wilson. Force Wembanyama to pass. And then Barnes to miss on the two. Milton will push. Stops Finney-Smith. Open three. It's an air ball. Terrible miss. Claxton gets the offensive board, though. He's got Barnes on him. Finney-Smith has another open look. That one's off. Claxton nearly gets the rebound. Barnes bats it to himself. And the Spurs push it across court. Vassell open three. Splash. And Vassell gets on the board. That's annoying because that rebound was in dispute, but Claxton wasn't able to reel it in. Milton on the outside to Johnson. Oh, it's just going to be so tough to score with Wembanyama on the inside. We're going to need to shoot a few mid-ranges. Wilson blew the two. And then it goes off Sohan. And out of bounds off the Spurs. So the Nets get a second opportunity. So a couple possessions in a row that's been the case, which is a good sign. Clax needs to take some shots here, I reckon. Just to see if he can get Wemby to the outside and clear the paint out. Milton gets inside. Walks around the basket. Rolls it back out. Three to shoot. They've got to get one up. Wilson. Splash! As the shot clock expires for the second time in this game, there's a foul. Wilson will be pinged with it. So we've used the entirety of the clock twice and scored both times. And Wilson doesn't really understand how that occurred, but he'll take it. 7-5 lead for the Nets out the gate. Wembanyama hasn't been all that aggressive early. Vassell lost the ball. Johnson with the acceleration. He lost the handle, though, and blew the fast break opportunity. So we give it to Milton on the outside, who will drive on the vet Harrison Barnes. To the corner for Wilson, who's got Paul on him. Take it in. And then Vassell reads the pass as they were trying to get it to the corner. So, smart read. Seeing that Wembanyama was in the paint. Barnes gets inside. Good rollover. Paul, cross court for Vassell. Another three over Wilson. It hits back iron. The rebound by Finney-Smith. He'll drive it in. The kick out to Milton. It's wide open, but only momentarily. Johnson will get it. He's got to take it in the paint. He's got Paul guarding him. There's the lob. Oh, Claxton's been blocked by Wemby. We're going to say that a lot today. Sohan is wrapped up on the way up. As he went for the 2-point layup early into the clock, it's going to be free throws. Did Wemby get him on the arm? I don't think he did. Clax needed to use the offhand to sort of create a little bit of separation and keep that ball away from Wemby, but he went with the two hands. Sohan at the free throw line misses the first with that really unorthodox one-handed shooting technique. Second free throw is good. 7-6. The Nets are up early on in this first quarter. The Nets are missing Cam Johnson. They're missing Cam Thomas. They're also missing Ben Simmons tonight. All three of which who have been starters at some point this season. Finney Smith back in the lineup. Good cut by Johnson. Extra. What the hell are we doing? Claxton got to put up a 2, and he misses on the baseline. That was a messy possession. Johnson self-sabotaged, really. Paul through the legs. Wembanyama 3. Nope. Rebound. Claxton. Milton will push. But yet again, we'll play in the half court, which is not optimal. There's the lob. It's a little bit wayward. Claxton's going to shoot with the left hand, and that is well measured. Johnson's got to hurry his ass up because he's too busy fixing his shoe. But we're all good. Wembanyama on the perimeter. Claxton is pressing. Vassell will roll. Get inside. Kick out. Paul, corner 3, is nearly an air ball. There's the rebound for Finney Smith. So we've done a good job so far of forcing the ball out of Wembanyama's hands. Claxton will hand it to Johnson, who sends it to Wilson, and now Claxton again will be that offensive hub for them as he sets a screen. Johnson, lob, beautiful! And there's the timeout. 6:56 to play in the opening quarter, and the Nets have played really, smart defensive basketball. They've forced it out of Wembanyama's hands, and it's, placed the onus on players such as Harrison Barnes, Chris Paul to make their shots. And they have not done a very good job of that so far. So right now, the Nets are up 11-6. It's been sensible basketball on the offensive end. A couple of turnovers, and that is to be expected when you are lacking the firepower. But overall, it's not been an awful start. We're seeing a bit of contribution across the board here with Jalen Wilson getting 5 early points, Claxton scoring 4, and scoring a couple from the mid-range, which is nice to see. And then Keon Johnson with a couple of assists, some good, P&R play with the big, and then Shake Milton also 2 assists. Finney Smith has gotten a few rebounds, missed a couple opportunities, but overall, the Nets are shooting the ball adequately enough. I mean, look at how long the Spurs bench is compared to ours, and look at the quality of their bench compared to ours. I mean, it's not crazy good, but compared to what we have available, I mean, it's probably worlds above. The Spurs, though, are 2 of 8. They're 1 of 5 from deep. They've had a couple of free throws, but they have also turned the ball over and probably not done a great job of rebounding the ball early. I mean, we've got 7 rebounds to 4. You can probably put that down to a couple of misses by the Spurs, but at the same time, we've had a couple of offensive rebounding opportunities. Now, Wembanyama is 1 of 2. He's only got the 2 points, though. He's already had a couple of blocks, which is, I don't think that's remotely surprising, but it's going to be interesting to see if there is a point in the game where he just takes the game by the scruff of the neck and flips this game on its head. Early on, though, he has not really been all that assertive. And off memory, I do feel as if that's how things were at the start of the game when we played him here last year. We won by 20, and I remember Wembanyama had a pretty quiet sort of a match. Yeah. Yeah, he had a pretty rough sort of a match, or rough start. And then I remember the third quarter, because we were smoking him in the first half, he decided to go on a little bit of a heater early in the third, but then I don't think he really scored later on because we were able to withstand the run. And Wembanyama wasn't able to dig into the lead enough when he was on the court at that time. Today, I think, is going to be a different story, mainly because I don't think we're going to have that sizable of a lead. Devin Vassell's going to bring it up. Clowney is into the contest for the first time. He replaces Keon Johnson. So we play a little bit taller here with Finney Smith, Clowney, and Claxton. Sohan, kick out to Vassell, drive down the middle, picks up his dribble, pull up, It's short. The rebound by Claxton. That's his 4th rebound of the contest. And he's going to look for the handoff yet again. Rejects Milton for Wilson, who's going to, well, had the ball tipped out of bounds. That was very easy to read. And so now we're going to see changes. It'll be the rookie Stefan Castle getting into the game for the first time today. And that is, well, the same can be said for Keldon Johnson, who's going to check into the game too. He's been a good piece off the bench for the Spurs, who was a starter for them when they were shit. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know what that's saying. Milton, though, good drive, and he scores over the top of Castle to give the Nets a 13-6 lead, and we're nearly halfway through the first quarter. So the Spurs have been shackled early in the game, haven't made their shots. That was a bit of a loose pass there. So Sohan out to Vassell, back to Castle. Good acceleration, gets inside the extra, and Sohan blew the layup. It's a good contest by Clowney, but it goes into the lap of the Spurs. They'll get another chance. Runner, and another miss by Keldon Johnson this time. So they're piling up the misses, and the Nets can pile on the pain here with a lead that'll be pretty healthy to start off the contest. Wembanyama's on the bench right now. Milton in the corner. High screen, late in the clock. We're going to need to do something here. 3 on the clock. Milton's going to step back. What is he doing? Oh my God! They've counted the 2. Milton just lobbed it up to Claxton. I'm sure that the clock expired, but they're going to say it is a 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they chalk that off. Johnson gets an offensive rebound and gets it to go after there was a shocking miss on the baseline there by Vassell. It hit the top of the backboard. Milton, drive, lob, Claxton! Beautiful! They really have had no answer for him. Those lobs have been coming in thick and fast. Barnes fakes on the 3. The drive in and the kick out to Vassell. Gets by the closeout. Stops. Extra. Johnson hangs. And it's tapped away by Wilson. Another rebound for Claxton. Finney-Smith will pass to Claxton and will play through him again. Clowney to Milton. Little bit of space for a 3. That rattles out. And the board by Devin Vassell, who's played the whole first quarter here. Castle back to Vassell. Castle runs into Milton. Well held. Drive in. Good rotation. Cut by Sohan. And he's got to roll it back out. They got 4 to shoot and they haven't looked like scoring here. It's going to be a tough 2 by Vassell. He's hit back rim again. And Geordie is going to call a timeout. This has been an incredibly unprecedented start. Yep, Claxton was definitely holding the basketball when that clock expired, so the 2 will be chalked off after this break. But regardless, the Nets lead 15-8, and they will have the basketball to potentially restore that 9-point lead that will be removed very momentarily. So, as it stands, the Nets have played through Claxton heavily here. Claxton's got 6 points. He's got 5 rebounds. He would have had an 8 if it wasn't for those points getting chalked off. So it's been a pleasant sight. It's been even more of a pleasant sight to see that the Spurs are 3 of 16 in the opening quarter. The Nets are shooting 7 of 14. It is a bit of a shame that the 3-pointers haven't been falling, or we haven't taken full advantage of the Spurs' poor shot selection. Really, we've forced him into a lot of mid-range jump shots. Vassell is 1 of 5, and Keldon Johnson, who's been on for 2 minutes, has already taken 4 shots and only made 1. So the inefficiency is running rife throughout the San Antonio team at the moment, which I can happily say is a pleasant surprise. I did not expect that to occur. But with a little under 4 minutes to play, the Nets have held the Spurs to 3 buckets and only 8 points in the entire contest, which is crazy to me. So we are off to a pretty handy start. I mean, a lot could change as soon as this bench unit comes in because, look, the bench unit heavily dictates how we play, how we perform, really, because last night they stunk it up in the first half and they were the difference. The reason we trailed was because that bench was a net negative and they played a lot of second quarter minutes. That's where things fell off. We got outscored by 10 in the quarter. In the third quarter, back end of the third, start of the fourth, things changed and changed a lot. Which was sort of, that was to the beneficiary of us and to the detriment of Milwaukee because that's the only real advantage they had. Our starters were holding their own against the Bucks. Of course, they didn't have Giannis or Dame, so it was a lot more even than it would have been if those two were available. And so the minute those bench players actually delivered, that placed us in really good stead to win the contest. Regardless, we have got like an all G League lineup here. We've got Sharp, Clowney, Martin, Beekman, and Johnson. Beekman, good hesitation. He blew the layup. And then they get it ahead to Vassell. Castle steps into a three and misses badly. It's a good board by Sharp. And Martin will bring it forward for the Nets. Sharp, back to Martin. To the corner for Beekman, who collects with one hand. Good handle there, because he could have lost the ball. Johnson, I reckon he needs to drive in. 6 to shoot. Dayron also has a mismatch under the basket. He shoots with the left and doesn't get it to go. I don't understand how he's got shocking touch at the rim. Good rebounder, but he has zero ability to score in there. Blocked by Sharp. Blocked by Johnson. Oh, he had his foot on the sideline. That is just brilliant athleticism. Sharp gets rid of Johnson's layup attempt, and then there's so many Johnsons to call out. Keldon Johnson, Keon Johnson. If Cam Johnson was playing, that'd be different. It's been changed to Nets ball. I thought it was Spurs ball here. Martin, roll is Sharp. Johnson will shoot the three. Miss. Rebound by Vassell. That's a good rebound because Sharp was well positioned there. Sohan on the outside. Vassell doesn't shoot the three. I think he's been... Oh, that's Castle, actually. Keldon Johnson goes baseline, goes vertical. Missed the layup. Clowney with the rebound. This is great verticality by the Nets. Clowney gets into Sohan. Hangs. Misses. And it's off the Spurs. So Dayron got a vital hand in there, and that completely disrupted the rebounding attempt for San Antonio. This is ugly. This is ugly. I mean, we've held them to 8 points in 10 minutes, and we're only up 7. It's a shame we have a bunch of bums playing. Martin, deep three. Yes! Finally a bucket. 18-8. And Trey Jones is into the game. Oh, here we go. Wembanyama 3. It's also off. Sharp with the contest. Martin with the rebound. He'll be picked up by Champagny. Euro. Sharp wasn't ready for it, but was able to collect. Martin another 3. Nope. Rebound by Johnson. They'll get it ahead. Castle the acceleration. Gets inside. Good D by Clowney. Rebound by Martin. We've got the numbers too if we push. It's a 5-on-4. Clowney. 3. No. Offensive board. And Johnson was hit by Johnson. It'll be the Nets Johnson getting the favors from the official. This verticality in the first quarter, we've been really, really good. They've really tried to get into our body and score at the rim, but that's not even working. 1:28 to play in the opening quarter. Beekman will inbound. Sharp, looking for the handoff to Martin. There he is. He'll get it. He's got an open 2 at the elbow, and he hits the J. So The Spurs have not scored in 4 minutes. Vassell? Is it Vassell or Castle? I can't work it out. Same trim. Layup? That doesn't go either. Clowney does well. Oh my god. We're going to get free throws here. It's Castle at the free throw line. Clowney did well to contest vertically the first time. Castle got his own miss, and then Clowney nearly tried to do it all over again. I don't know if that's a foul. I don't know if that's a foul. I reckon Clowney did a decent job of trying to avoid Castle from jumping into him and initiating that contact. Castle misses a free throw. They still have not scored in 4 minutes. They'll get one more free throw here. This has been a really rough start for San Antonio. The second free throw coming now from Castle. And that one is out also. So Dayron with the board, and Johnson will bring it up as we enter the final minute of the first quarter. Johnson to Tyrese Martin on the outside. Shoots another two. He's hit another jumper. 14-point lead for the Nets. They have gone on a 9-0 run. It has by no means been explosive. That's happened over the course of 4 minutes. But the Spurs are shooting that badly. Jones gets inside. Surely a travel. Champagny with 6 to shoot. To Johnson in the corner. That 3 is badly off. Keon Johnson skies in for the board. Beekman. Johnson is going to hold things up. There's a 4-second difference between shot and game. The Nets up 22-8. Johnson will get doubled. Martin needs to be the helper. 3 to shoot. Steps into a tray. It's off the board. They've got 2 to shoot. They leap. Shoot. Oh! Of course he's hit that. He hits it from the half-court line. How have they scored that? Believe it or not, before that half-court heave, they went 3 of 24 in the opening quarter from the field. They were shooting at 12% and just hit that half-court prayer. So I guess that's something for the Spurs to draw upon heading into the second. They're very lucky that we've only notched up the 22 points. That's by no means eye-catching, but the Spurs have had a generationally bad? Does that make sense? Generationally bad first quarter to start things off. 22-11 to start this one off. It's fair to say I did not expect this scoreline at quarter time, but the Nets will be very, very happy with that start. They've gotten 7 points out of Martin off the bench, who is leading the way for the Nets scoring-wise, amazingly enough. Keon Johnson with a couple points. I mean, the shooting's not great out there. Claxton scored 6 before his stint on the side. Wilson hit 5. And Shake Milton with 3 assists. That's, of course, really good to see. The Nets are 10 of 24 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, so they're not helping themselves from the outside. And they probably want to get a few more free throws in there, and that'll boost their scoring total a little. But I don't imagine the Spurs are going to have this bad a quarter again. They went 1 of 4 from the line. They were 1 of 8 until Keldon Johnson hits that half-court 3. He previously, before that shot, was 1 of 7, just to, you know, inject a little bit of pain into Net supporters. 4 of 25, though, from the field is crazy. Wembanyama only the 2 points in the contest, 1 of 3. So the Nets have done a really good job of, well, challenging the Spurs and giving them really low percentage shots. I mean, there's been a lot of tough ones, and we're really stiff to not hold them to single digits for points in that opening quarter. It would have been really satisfying, because I don't know the last time the Nets have held a team to under 10 points in a game. If you are enjoying the stream so far, though, guys, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. This is the last stream of the year. The Magic game is an early start, so I won't be doing that game, but we will be back in the new year for the first match. We've just turned the ball over and we didn't even bring the ball up. Trey Jones with a full court press. They're going to get an open look through Champagny, and he hits the three, and he's fouled. So they have nearly doubled their total in 15 seconds. So Champagny with the tray, and he'll go to the free throw line. So this is a good little stint here for San Antonio. 4-point play opportunity. Is that going to be a flagrant foul as well? Oh, no way. That's not even a rash closeout, bro. He's actually stopped. I don't even know if that's a fucking foul. That's not a reckless closeout. He's fucking stopped. He's stopped. That honestly was the most half-assed contest I've ever seen. If that gets upgraded to a flagrant, it probably will because of the outcome in terms of his ankle being very sore afterwards. That's going to be incredible. That's going to be a tough price to pay. They needed those buckets though, man. The Spurs just need to see a few go through. Let's see. What? How the fuck is it a reckless closeout? They've just said he's covered too much ground. What's he fucking supposed to do? He's got to close the space down. Oh my god, that is just absolutely ridiculous. So they're going to get like free throws and the ball. This could be like a 7-point play. Makes the free throw. I believe, okay, they only get one. Do they get one flagrant or 2 flagrant free throws? Okay, it was only the one. So nets of Claxton, Clowney, Martin, Wilson, and Beekman on the floor. Milton getting a rest here at the start of the second quarter. So the Spurs will get into an offensive set. They got Paul out there with Trey Jones. So a very small backcourt tandem here. So you would hope that we can attack that a little bit. So Chris Paul will inbound. Great passer. He's probably going to look for Wembanyama. We give it to Johnson. There's a foul. And the Nets have got to stop bailing the Spurs out here because they had him trapped. We've only had 19 seconds elapse, and the Spurs are going for their... Well, they're going for their 5th and 6th points. The Nets have not even taken it up the other end of the court yet. So Keldon Johnson at the line. And this all started because we fucking turned it over in the second quarter. Or to start the second quarter, Beekman just fucking lost the handle in the backcourt. So amazingly enough, they've gone on a 9-0 run in about 20 seconds. They've doubled their score. It's now a 5-point game. It was as high as 14. Talk about being resourceful with your time. So Beekman, the bounce pass to Claxton. Off-ball screen frees up Martin for 3. And he misses badly, and it sits on the sideline. So missed Martin Trey. The Spurs can get into this deficit a little bit more now. Despite that horror start from the field. Chris Paul. Screen by Wembanyama. Cross court to Champagny. He's got it. So he's come into the game, and just like that, it's fucking 12-0 run. It's ridiculous. So the Nets have probably got to attack the basket a little bit here. That's a loopy pass to Martin. Beekman takes it in. Clowney's going to step into a 3. That's a bad miss, but that bad that Martin chased up the offensive board. Clowney, handoff to Wilson. He's going to shoot a deep 3. High arcing shot. It's a shocking miss. Claxton gets the offensive rebound now. Oh my God, he's just thrown it directly to a Spur that was already in the passing lane. I don't know what the hell Clax was thinking there. The Spurs can go for their, well, they've gone on a 12-0 run. Opportunity for more here. They're going to use Wembanyama. Top of the key, behind the back. Good defense by Claxton. Tough shot, it's off. Great D. Martin's going to get it across the half-court line. They don't pick up Clowney. He steps into a 3 and misses again. So it's fair to say he isn't carried over the form from last night. 22-20. Wembanyama takes it inside. What the fuck is that foul for? I have no idea what the foul is for there. Regardless, they've called it. It was on the pass. Okay. That's a little bit strange. So Wemby won't get an opportunity to build up his point tally. Ball going to be inbounded by Paul. They're probably going to look for Jones or Wembanyama. Shoots a 3, and that's short as well. So he has not found his shot today. Wilson going to move. Right down the middle. Lob! Claxton! Wilson probably could have taken it himself, but he didn't want to. He wanted to pass off the responsibility to someone else. Knock away by Beekman. But they still have it. Champagny, another 3. This guy cannot fucking miss. This guy has just... That's actually pretty crazy that he's just come into the game and instantly their offense is lifted. He's got 9, I think. Wilson gets inside. Martin in the corner. No space. Oh my God. What is that? Good rotation by the Spurs. They can take the lead now. 24-23. 9 minutes to play. And that's a foul? Or... Yep. It's a foul. Clowney needs to stop fouling. I think that's his 3rd personal. Okay, never mind. It's Beekman with the personal. Trey Jones going to shoot 2. That's good. 24 apiece. So Shake's going to check into the game. Harrison Barnes returns. Keldon Johnson to the bench. So the Spurs can get a 1-point lead here. I've just completely forgotten to change the quarter time scoreline. And there's a make. So the Spurs in front. That was short-lived. Sort of crazy. We held them to 8 points for like 11, basically 12 minutes. And they're already on 25 now. Wilson. Drive in on Paul. Got to attack that. And you got to score that too. Wembanyama's lost the ball on the rebound. And it's gone out of play off him as well. So the Nets will get another chance over something incredibly innocuous. That's pretty careless. I'm pretty sure that ball bounced on the sideline. I don't think it did. He's pretty unlucky there, but the Nets will get another crack here. Claxton on the outside. Milton. Drive in. Picks up his dribble. Back out to Wilson. 4 to shoot. What are we doing? Got to take it in. You got Paul on you. Wilson hangs. That's another short shot. And the Spurs are going to get into it quickly. And we have not gotten back. There's the lob. Barnes. The make. And there's the timeout for Brooklyn. They have gone and scored 16 points in 3.5 minutes. They had 11 the whole first quarter. We've scored 2. So, I mean, granted, 9 of those happened in about 20 seconds. But still, this is more what I'd expect. I didn't expect anything else, really. Interesting fact, Clax has averaged 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. So he must love the Spurs, because he's had a really good match. Saba the GOAT, cheers, boss. I would definitely call myself that. So, thanks for stating the obvious. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, 16-2 run. It could not be any more lopsided. It couldn't be any more of a reversal from the first quarter. Champagne is 3 of 3. Now, they are now shooting 8 of 31. They were 4 of 25 at quarter time. They've hit the same amount of field goals in the second quarter as they did in the first, and we've only played 3.5 minutes. They were also 2 of 9 from 3. They're 3 of 4 in the quarter. They've also gone to the free throw line. They were like 1 of 4. They're now 6 of 9. So a lot of good that the Nets did in the first quarter, that is completely unraveled, which is a bit of a shame, because it was a very good defensive first quarter. And this is also, considering the fact that Wembanyama is 1 of 5. Keldon Johnson's 2 of 8. Vassell is 1 of 5. So these 3 players that cooked us when we played them in San Antonio last year, they all scored 20 plus. They have been awful. They've been useless. I mean, 1 of 5, 2 of 8, that's 3 of 13. They're 4 of 18 with those 3. And they lead because we just can't shoot the ball. We don't have the personnel. We don't have a Cam Johnson to help us out. We're 11 of 31 and we're 2 of 13 from deep. I mean, we're probably going to need to start driving it into in towards the basket. I think we're not being physical enough. We have there's been multiple cases where we've got, there's been multiple cases where we've had Chris Paul guarding Jalen Wilson and haven't really attacked the basket. I know Wembanyama's a presence, but probably not good enough. So 27-24 the score. The Spurs, well, they had 8 points for about 11 minutes and 59 seconds. The first 11 minutes, 59 seconds of this game. And then they scored a half-court heave, and from there's been no turning back. So the Nets get into a set down 3. Wilson on the floor with Clowney, Milton, Sharp, and Keon Johnson. Milton uses the screen. That was a very ropes pass there. Keon Johnson with 7 to shoot, needs to create, picks up his dribble, moves through, shoots, and gets the roll. That's very smart, nifty play, because Wembanyama was right there and wasn't able to get a hand in. Paul. Good backdoor cut. Oh, they've passed up a 2 for a 3, and Champagne is going to miss. Oh my God, please get the rebound. Thank you. That was off hands. It looked a little bit shaky, but the Nets do secure the board, and now Milton will get inside. Hangs, and he was fouled. And Trey Jones is mystified. And I don't know if he's signaling to the bench to challenge this. I don't know if that's a foul. Milton's going to go to the line, though. The 7:37 mark, Sohan and Vassell getting ready to check in. Milton makes the first to tie it at 27. Nets have responded after that timeout called. So Milton with 1 more free throw to come here. And these, I believe, are the first free throws of the contest for the Nets. Although it would be absolutely brilliant if we could make them. Milton pressing Sohan in the backcourt. Can we get a steal? Nope. And now we're going to need to roll over to help. Champagne. Barnes on the wing. Sohan in the post. Guarded by Clowney. Backs him down. Sohan lost the ball. Clowney's going to get hit with his 3rd personal. With 7 to shoot, that probably wasn't the foul to commit. Maybe needed the help defender to arrive, but... What? Wait, what? What's he fucking doing at the free throw line? Oh my God, they're in the bonus. Are you kidding me? What a bailout. So free throws for Sohan, who is much improved with that really shitty looking free throw technique, but if it works, it works. Second free throw is good. So 29-27, Spurs up 2. They've definitely had the ascendancy in the second quarter. Wilson to Clowney, who's playing on 3 fouls. Milton across to Clowney, who nearly lost the handle. He was already moving when he grabbed that basketball. Sharp gonna get inside, and that's brilliant assertion there. Had Vassell guarding him, and he takes put the rock on the floor, and then a wayward pass by Chris Paul. You haven't been able to say that too much in his long tenured career, but we go back to the previous play. Day'Ron Sharp probably had his heel on the sideline, and I don't think the referee saw that, but 29 apiece. Day'Ron gets his first bucket of the game. Love to see it. What is going on? Whistles are going off all over the joint. Looks like there may be a problem with the rim. Could have a longer... Looks like we've got a wayward rod. It's like... There's like this pole, like that's just stuck out of the rim. And that could be a little bit of a hindrance. So the ladder's out. Here's the ladder. We don't have Obi Toppin to help us out. But we've got the next best thing. So 6:49 a play in the second quarter. It has not been a scoring frenzy on the Spurs end. I thought that was going to occur. But really only a couple of Spurs players have actually bailed them out here. Champagne's the main one. He's in double figures with 10. But that aside, they've had a few like fleeting moments. What are they actually doing? Well, we have a stoppage. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We are back for Nets versus Toronto in the new year. We've got one more game left in 2024. It is against the Orlando Magic. So we won't be doing that game, but the next game after that against Toronto we will be covering. Main reasons: the game's way too early over here. It's like 7:30 in the morning. And 2, I hate watching us play the Magic because they are absolute pricks to play against. No matter who they have out there. I mean, Orlando just lost to Miami, but Miami needed, or they were held to 89 points. They're just a bit fortuitous that Orlando have like no scoring power. Orlando, who else did they beat? They went toe-to-toe with Boston and they won that game despite being incredibly shorthanded. So they're just an absolute pain in the ass, simply put. Alrighty. So, yeah, this is a bit of a longer stoppage. I mean, both teams will be able to talk things over and regroup. And perhaps it is a reset that the Nets do need. And it hopefully halts the Spurs in their tracks. I mean, they've had a great second quarter. Already 18 points in the quarter. Already 18 points in the quarter. The Nets have had a little bit more of a tough going quarter, which is heavily understandable. But really, outside of that first minute for the Spurs, they haven't really been all that crazy. Like, they probably should have maybe like 3 or 4 points less than what they do have. Anyway, the Nets have got it here in the backcourt. They're getting pressed here. Milton gets it past half court in the nick of time before that 8-second call would have arrived. Wilson had a bit of space for the 3. He still does. They don't pass it to him. Now Day'Ron Sharp's going to get it in the low block. The cutter is Johnson. He lost the ball. Wilson, as the clock expires, nope. And it's out of bounds. Paul will let it go out of bounds. And the Nets are still stranded on 2 3-pointers made. Chris Paul to Vassell. Step back. Nope. Wasn't on. Chris Paul guarded by Wilson. And now Vassell is guarded by Sharp on the outside. So tough assignment for him. Vassell drives, shoots, hangs, missed it. Get the rebound. Dayron does with the outstretched arms. The Nets are going to push. They don't have the numbers though. And they're going to wait a little bit. Wilson will pass to Keon Johnson and drive in on Champagny. Gets inside, misses the layup. Dayron gets the board. How has he not been fouled? How on earth has he not been fouled? This is typical Dayron Sharp basketball. Oh my God, mate. Dayron Sharp, I swear to God, mate, how many rebounds is this guy going to fucking get without actually putting it back up and in for 2? He's tanking his field goal percentage simultaneously as he blows these opportunities. Like, it's not just the fact he's not converting these offensive rebounds. It's the fact that because of that, he's tanking his field goal percentage. Harrison Barnes misses a free throw. Johnson back in. Keldon Johnson, that is. So we're a little bit over halfway through this second quarter. And I feel like both teams are going to struggle to get to 40 at halftime. It's just been that sort of a game. Barnes makes the second free throw to give the Spurs the slimmest of leads at 30-29. In this quarter, the Nets are 23%. So they're not shooting nearly as well as they should. Finney Smith is back in finally. Dayron's going to get it in the block again. Johnson, tough take. He's going to shoot a 3 and hit the 3. That was tough. It was a really tough take because he mistimed his jump. It was actually partially knocked away. He didn't need to do what he did. Barnes, oh my God, he's so jammy. Another foul and more free throws will come here for Harrison Barnes. Like, Johnson, I don't know how he's collected that basketball and also remained in bounds and then also scored the 3. It's impressive. Really good looking jump shot. Another free throw for Barnes goes down, and he can tie the game at 32. So it's after that early flurry of points in this second quarter, the Spurs have slowed things down. It's the free throw line where they've really gone to work, and Barnes makes a pair. Like, they've only made 4 field goals in the quarter. The free throw disparity is unbelievable. They've had 15 free throws to 2. Milton, deep tray. Yes, sir. And that 3-pointer is where the lead is at. 3. Vassell initially lost the handle. Nope, that's Castle. What? No fucking way. No way is that a foul. Fucking challenge that shit. Is Geordie going to challenge? Let's see if there was a hold before. There was a hold and there was an arm extension. Shake is an idiot for doing that foul, though. Seriously, he did not have to do that. He's just sent them to the line for nothing. Castle misses the first. He's had a couple of misses in this game. We're just gifting him opportunities. They've, like, scored a third of their points from the line. Like, that's a massive, massive part of the game at the moment. The Spurs wouldn't even be like in the mid-20s if their free throw count wasn't as ridiculous. So Castle makes only half. 2 points the margin. Milton with the turn on Castle. They find Sharp here. Still no Wembanyama late in the quarter. Milton puts the head down, lost the handle, falling out of bounds. Great save. 3! It's off. Board by Sohan. Knocked away. Brilliant job, Dayron. Active hands disrupted the handle of Sohan. He basically didn't even take 3 steps. He didn't have time to think before that ball got knocked away. He probably was fouled. Sharp has his handle knocked away by Sohan, so a little bit of a role reversal, but the Nets still have it. Wilson, beautiful spin. He passed up an open 2. Finney-Smith, the drive. Can't get the layup. Rebound. Oh my God. What the fuck, man? Why are you fouling? Brother, why are we going for the most egregious steal attempts? Mate, they haven't even left the backcourt and you're just sending them to the line. They've had 15 more free throws than us. And they've got 33 points in the half. Can you imagine if the free throw disparity was remotely, or the free throw count was remotely even? I mean, this wouldn't even be a ball game in our favor. 35-34. This is one of the most ridiculously bizarre first halves I've seen in a long time. Free throw is good to tie the game at 35. So 4 minutes to play. For the Nets, it is Claxton back on the floor with Milton, Johnson, Wilson, and Finney-Smith. The 5. For the Spurs, it's Castle, Sohan. I can't see the others. Keldon Johnson, Wembanyama's back in, and Vassell is 2. Ball inbounded to Claxton. I don't believe he scored a point this quarter. Milton. Screen. Good defense by Sohan. Milton at the elbow. Picks up his dribble. Good cut by Finney-Smith. Layup is good. And Claxton, I could see out of the corner of my eye, Wembanyama was very overwhelmed by the Claxton physicality there. Had no impact on the play defensively. Here he is with the handoff to Vassell. The drive in down the middle. Layup. Great defense. Off hands. Net ball. This is the interior presence, though, generally speaking, by the Nets, especially from the starters, has been superb. Second quarter, it's really gone off the rails. But we've had a lot of players prone to fouling. Claxton, no way. No way. Offensive foul. Claxton, what? Double technicals for what? And that's not even a foul. He didn't even extend his elbow. Usually when you do that, it's a full elbow thrust. And that's apparently a double technical. You're kidding me. That is the softest double T I've ever seen. Nope. Finney-Smith missed the free throw. It was actually just the single T on Jeremy Sohan, I think. That's actually pissing me off. We've only had 3 free throws, and Finney-Smith, why was he even taking the free throw, is my question. 3 minutes to play here in this opening half. Keldon Johnson on the outside will look for Wembanyama. That's a shocking pass. Claxton did well to narrow the angle down, and so there was a higher degree of difficulty to the pass. He's had a really difficult first half, Wembanyama. The Spurs have not scored a field goal in 5 minutes, and we're still only up 2. Goes to show how impactful the free throw. No way. No way. Clax, you idiots. Oh my God. We hit a fucking 3 and they've called an illegal screen, bro. What even is that for? Mate, the referees have just been fucking killing us. Let me have a look. What is that for? Let's see. It really pisses me off because the 3 ball went down and we really could have done with a 3 right there. What? There's no way they've called that a fucking foul. Mate, I see that so many times in the NBA, and they've called that a fucking personal. Claxton was the one that got discarded. What? Oh, that is an absolute joke. What do I know about illegal screens? But still, fucking hell, that's just a joke. Why are the Spurs not controlling this game? They should have a 5 to 6 point lead. They're shooting the ball like crap. Or sorry, they're not shooting the ball like crap. Well, they are. But realistically, the Spurs actually have been bailed out, if I'm going to be completely honest. The Spurs have had 15 extra free throws and they are down. That tells you all you need to know about the way this game's gone. The Nets have not had free throws, the Spurs have. That's the only real thing that's funding their offense at the moment, San Antonio, because they are shooting 23% from the field. 23%, but the fact that they have got 16 extra free throws is the main reason as to why they are in this game. Because the Nets haven't shot the ball all that well either. However, they haven't been good enough to punish. Keon Johnson should have had a 3-point conversion, but we can't have nice things, even when the Nets have only managed 37 damn points in the contest to this stage of the game. It's been a little bit tough on the eye. Let me just say that. The Spurs actually scored like 9 points in very quick time to start this quarter, but they have well and truly fallen back to their first quarter ways as the quarter's worn on. It's been a much slower brand of basketball, a lot of stoppages. I really don't know what a winning score is today, because I don't know if this is going to carry right the way through. I feel like the Nets are only going to manage like 85 points in the game. I feel like 95 points gets you the win in this match. Not going to lie. That's a long way away though. For both teams, they need to score 60 the rest of the way, and that, based off the first half, I wouldn't say they're going to come close to that. That's for sure. So it is going to be the Spurs who get the ball after this juncture. 37-35. The Spurs in the bonus. They've got Paul out there with Vassell, Wembanyama, Johnson, and Castle, I believe. Vassell misses the 3. Finney-Smith gets the rebound and will push the pace. Claxton's going to have a mismatch, but when does he ever utilize the mismatch? They're looking for him, and he's got to back down Johnson. Get into the body, Clax. And he's lost his footing, and it's a jump ball. It's just ridiculous, mate. You have been in the league for 6 seasons, and you still can't maximize a mismatch. Like, seriously, man. I just don't understand it. Clax has got the size advantage. He's probably got the wingspan advantage as well. But it's not a given. The ball is won by the Spurs in the open floor. Vassell, beautiful Euro. It's Castle, though, mate. They look like twins. It's like I'm seeing doppelgangers on the court right now. 37 all. The Spurs have 12 points off turnovers. The Nets have donuts in that area. Johnson gets inside. Wilson. Kick out. Claxton 3. Nope. Rebound by Wembanyama. That was always going to be tough. Paul, going to push the pace. Johnson. Thought about the 3. Nope. Paul. Roller is Wembanyama. They give it to Vassell. And now Wembanyama puts up the 2. And, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. I think Wilson did a decent job. But once you allow the entry pass, it's always going to be difficult to stop with someone of that size. Johnson gets into the paint. Hangs. Wanted Claxton. But that was well held up. He's going to take it inside himself. He lost the ball again. There is a foul or a kickball. I don't know which. But there's 80 seconds left in the quarter. And, yeah, the lead is at 2. Looks like it's a foul, so the clock resets from 7 to 14. Milton will inbound. Claxton's the open man. 1:20 to play in the quarter. 14 on the clock. Wilson will use the Claxton screen. Spin on Johnson. and then lost the ball out of bounds. Jesus Christ, this has been a tough watch. We're so lucky the Spurs have been dog shit on offense because, mate, this could have been like a 20-point deficit at the half. If we had have seen the best version, here's Chris Paul on the perimeter. They're going to look for Wembanyama again. Claxton's fronting up on him. Vassell, drive down the middle. Paul, three-pointer, off. Rebound, batted to Milton. Johnson, going to push the pace, but he doesn't attack the paint when Wembanyama is not up the floor. Johnson, bounce pass to Milton, shoots the three. No hesitation. Gets it to go and gives the Spurs, well, should I say gives the Nets the lead back. Paul, early offense, capitalizes on the 2-for-1. That was way too easy. That's his spot. And he hasn't been awfully aggressive getting there, but regardless, it is a 2. The Spurs lead by 1, and the Nets will hold with a 5-second difference between shot and game. Keon Johnson will use the screen set. There's a foul on Chris Paul. The Nets are in the bonus, so they're going to get a trip at the line here. This is an absolute gift. Now, you've actually got to capitalize at the line. So the Nets can get the lead back heading into the halftime break, which I would consider a success because, well, the Spurs definitely could have gotten hold. So Keon Johnson's had a very decent half, I have to say. I think he's actually the Nets' top scorer, which is sort of crazy. Although that free throw is fucking disgusting. That looks like me at the free throw line there. Just absolutely no alignment. We're like 1 of 4 at the line, bro. So many points left on the table proportionally. Second free throw here for Keon Johnson. Makes 1 of 2. So it's all square. 41 apiece. 12 seconds to play. They get it into Castle. Early offense. Great touch pass. Extra is turned over. Claxton. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Euro. Layup. Off. And that's going to do it for the half. So it's all square at 41. Did Chris Paul get teed up? Wait a second. Nah, it looks like everything's okay. All right, so halftime, the Nets only manage 9 or 19, should I say, not 9. 19 second quarter points, which actually isn't that much worse than what they did in the first quarter. But the problem is they conceded 30 points to the opposition after they held them to 11 in the first. Now, the main key of this game, and I've said this like a broken record, right? This squad, the Spurs, have had 19 free throws in the game. That is the main difference here, because the Spurs have made 6 less shots than the Nets. Let's take a look. You can see the scoring breakdown for both teams. Both teams have made 5 3-pointers. The Nets have had 5 extra shots and made 6 more. However, the game is tied because the Spurs have made 12 extra free throws. The turnover count is in the Spurs' favor. They've turned it over 3 times less. And if we look at things from a scoring standpoint, this is maybe, well, I think it is one of the worst games from Wembanyama in a long time. He's only got the 4 points. He's shot at 2 of 6. He's had a couple of blocks, but he has had absolutely no impact on the game. Champagny, I don't know what his first name is. I feel like it's Justin or Julian. I think his brother is the other. He's hit 3 of his 4 3-pointers. So outside of him, they're like 2 of 12 from deep. And he accounts for a quarter of their baskets. Vassell is 1 of 9. Castle's 1 of 5. Keldon Johnson's 2 of 8. They are shooting it so badly. They're shooting it actually at 27.5% to be exact. So really, I mean, if it wasn't for their free throw number, they could be in a real spot of bother. They probably would have only had like 30 points or some shit. But the problem is the Nets have not been nearly disciplined enough and have conceded 19 free throws. So in the second half, that is definitely going to need to be a point of emphasis for the Nets, who have not had a bad half by any stretch. I mean, they started the game really well. Their defense has been good. They're out-rebounding San Antonio. And you know what? The turnovers haven't been too bad. Claxton's had 4 turnovers, though, which is a bit of an issue because he's been the offensive hub for them. Like, he's setting screens. He's doing a lot of handoffs. He's getting lobs. So it's really imperative that he doesn't turn the ball over as much as he has. There's a number of Nets in foul trouble, or not in foul trouble, but have been a little bit foul heavy. There's 5 players with 2 or more personals. Meanwhile, you go to the Spurs side and not one player has 2 personals. So that's a huge part of the way this game has panned out. Keon Johnson with 8. He's at a pretty good first half. Claxton with 8 and 6. Milton with 9. He's hit a couple of 3-pointers, and all things considered has been really effective. Tyrese Martin's 3 is 6. He scored 7 off the bench in only the 7 minutes, and Day'Ron Sharpe has got 5 rebounds. I reckon 3 are offensive, yet he only has 1 field goal make. And Noah Clowney yesterday was 6 of 9 from deep. Today he's 0 of 4 from the field. So the script has well and truly been flipped. I think the Spurs played yesterday, so I think both teams are going to be battling the second, well, the effects of a second leg of a back-to-back, I believe. Let's just have a look. They played the Knicks. No, that was on Christmas. So they've had quite a few days break. So they should be very, very primed up for the second half. But obviously they've looked really lethargic, or they started the game atrociously. Unrelated, Jaylen Brown is having a really nice first half. Let's have a look at that, actually. 70 points for Boston. And yeah, Jaylen Brown, 23. Wow. Let me just hang on a second. Let me go to the chat and see what you guys are saying outside of that. Let's have a look. Shane, is Wemby injured? He is not. He's just playing poorly, and the Nets are playing him well. Just forcing the ball out of his hands. You know, Claxton's actually done a really good job defensively. The blitz has arrived every single time Wemby's got the ball, and he's shooting like he's always been shooting a lot of threes. This season, it's taken a significant uptick. But we just haven't really allowed him to get opportunities. And look, his last, this is how good the Nets have been in containing him. So he's got 4 points right now. The amount of games that he's scored under 20 points in the last, well, in the month of December, he's had 1 game he scored under 20. And that was against Phoenix. He went 6 of 18, 1 of 9 from deep. 13 rebounds, 7 assists. So he still got involved in that game. This game right here, he's got 4 points, a rebound, and an assist, and 2 blocks. Like, on the offensive side, he's done absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I think the Nets will be really happy with how they've approached, the first half in terms of containing Wemby. He's averaging 6 free throws a game this month as well. And he's averaging 10 threes a game. He's only taken the 6 shots all game, and he's only taken 3 attempts from the outside. Do I think he's going to have 7 attempts in the second half? He potentially could, but this is why I said pre-game, Claxton historically, or not historically, but just the way he's built, he's actually a really good matchup for Wembanyama. Which is sort of crazy to say because the dominant bigs in the league at the moment, Jokic, Embiid, I don't know, even honestly Vucevic, those sorts of players, like Claxton doesn't stand a chance. He's useless against those sorts of guys. He can't body them up. And because Claxton can't shoot, it's an issue, right? So, he sort of is rendered unusable. But in this game, I feel like, or in this matchup specifically against Wembanyama, he does a really good job. I don't know what it is. I just think it's Claxton is the exact same build, and so actually works out really well in his favor. It's probably the only center in the league he can actually body. Let's have a look what other people are saying. Nets will never change. Shooting sucks and defense pathetic. The defense has been good. Only 41 conceded to San Antonio in the first half. That's a big plus. Nets will lose this easily. Well, that's what I said pre-game, and we're all square at the half. So that is, yeah. I mean, as I said, this team consistently surprises. So we could be in with a very surprising result. Yeah. Let me have a look at what else is saying or is being said in chat. Pete, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the support and the little appreciation in the chat. I appreciate it. Love the work you're doing. Do you think Clax can be a center on a championship winning team, like the team we want to be in a few years' time? No. I'm going to say that. Like, I historically have loved Claxton, but it's just he's not consistent enough. And I don't think it's almost like, how old is he now? 24. So he's been in the league for like 6 or 7 years. You really need to see huge signs of improvement. This should be the season he's putting up like 4 threes a game. It's just the way the game has evolved now. And given Clax is not the strongest big, he needs to be able to shoot the ball. And we've seen glimpses in the last few games now. I feel like the issue is going to be forced a little bit more with Ben playing more because he can't shoot. No Schroeder. So no longer do you have that guy that can lob it up to Claxton. Even though he still is getting lobs, like he's probably had 3 or 4 lobs in this game. But, he sort of needs to expand on that a little bit. And he's like, every so often he crashes out. Like he just gets mad. And I'm like, mate, you're 24. Like you should not be doing that. Like, I think it's not going to hurt to hold on to him, but like, I think it really depends on system. I don't... Look, it actually could be very interesting with the severe hypothetical of Cooper Flagg coming to the Nets. I don't see it happening given where we are in the draft order at the moment. But if he ends up at the Nets by some, by some miracle, having like Cooper Flagg, Clowney, and Claxton, I mean, they are not physical, but they're very lengthy. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know if that's going to be the prototype down the line or what you want from a defensive front line. But that'd be very tough to shoot against. Maybe on the interior, you'd get absolutely cooked. And you probably wouldn't generate free throws. Maybe you would. Depending on what sort of player Noah Clowney develops into, and if Cooper Flagg was at the Nets, what he develops into. But regardless, I think it'll be interesting anyway. Let's have a look. I need Wemby to score 20. Well, he's definitely going to need to be a better presence in this second half, that's for sure. Probably just be a little bit more assertive, but Claxton's doing a good job. So he's being that deterring presence. And Wembanyama, I think if we play the exact same way to Wembanyama in the second half, and San Antonio's shooters don't make shots, then they could very well be held to like 85 points. Because I can't see Wembanyama really getting into the game because the shooters need to take the pressure off of him. And at the moment, that's not really occurring, right? I personally think Clax plays very well with a regular size power forward, like we see with Clowney or when we had KD. But if he needs that, how good is he actually? That's I think that's the dilemma, right? If he was that good, he'd be able to slot into any system. But you need a very specific type of player in order for Clax to fit in and work. Like, I feel like with a Clowney, it would be a very interesting fit. Like, even at times, playing with Zaire Williams. Like, Zaire's not a traditional power forward, but he is very tall and he's very lengthy. So Kevin Durant was that. I mean, Kevin Durant was a shooter and whatnot, but on the defensive end, I think, well, that's where you're going to see the best of Claxton. And so you need a lot of length. Like, having Finney Smith as a 4, don't know if that's the way to go. Clax thrives in the PNR, but with this offense, Clax does a lot of handoffs instead. I think that's just what they did, or they worked on in the offseason. They probably wanted to give Clax more touches, but I don't think Clax himself has been assertive enough. I don't know if that's like based off coaching instructions or anything like that. Like, has it just been the instruction for him to like do more handoffs and free up open shooters? And then when the lob's there, the lob's there. Like, I don't know if he's been told to stay away from taking those like pull-up pops like 15 feet from the basket. I'm not sure if... Because I feel like he practices those in the gym and he makes those, but I don't know if he's been given the green light. So, yeah, that could be an interesting watch going forward. I don't know how Clax is going to be used, but now's the time, right? Like, you know, especially when the pressure isn't on winning. Winning is just the bonus of playing well. Like, you know, you might as well take mid-ranges. It's good to see Clax taking three-pointers as well. How many threes did he take in the first half? He took only the one. But you know what? Like, that's one more than he would take most games the season before. So I feel like that shot profile just needs to be a little bit more expansive. If there's any time for him to show off what he's been working on, it's now. So... And it would be an added bonus for this team, I tell you what. Like, it would just be the reinforcement we need to understand why the hell we signed him to this deal. But we're underway for the second half. And the Nets' ghastly starting 5 will start this second half. It's Milton, Wilson, Finney Smith, Keon Johnson, and Claxton. They haven't done an awful job, though, so far in this match. I'd say they've been a positive for the most part. Wilson's got to put one up. Nope. Grenade. Oh, it's in! Milton! The tray to give the Nets the lead. 44-41. That is number 3 for Shake. He's the first net in double figures. Oh, good roll by Sohan. Finney Smith tried to come over and double Wemby, but he just left his man open on the baseline. And good assertion by Sohan to cut to the basket. Along the baseline. Open 2. Under the rim. Oh, Jalen, what are you doing, bro? Secure the handoff. That pass was a little bit ropes to Sohan. He's got to roll it back out to Wemby. There's absolutely no resistance in there. Claxton, I think, got a little bit muddled with the defensive rotation. And so they've got to clamp that up. We cannot let Wemby get into the contest. It's that simple. Claxton looking for the handoff. There's Finney Smith. Had a bit of space. Gets inside. Wraparound pass. How many times are we going to fuck up the shovel pass? That's just careless. You got to have a stronger handle there. You got to rope that one in. Good roll. Kick out. Barnes is an open 3. And he's well short. So the rebound by Milton. Spurs get back. Cross court to Wilson. He's not shy. Over Paul. Hits the 3. I was in the middle of saying Trey, but all the same, Trey, 3. It don't matter. The Nets have 2 of those to start the second half. That's a good sign. Vassell, picked up by Milton. He'll put the head down, get inside. The extra to Barnes. The layup is good. And it is back all square at 47. Keon Johnson, honestly, I'd drive it in on CP3. He's 38 years old, mate. Claxton, oh my goodness, that is not out of the playbook. It's gone off Claxton's hands, off the backboard, and ended up with Keon Johnson, who threw the initial pass. It's last touched by San Antonio. Goodness me, Claxton's actually assisted that. That's incredible. 9:30 to play here in this third quarter. Good find to Vassell, gets by the closeout. Extra to Barnes, back to Vassell, across to Wembanyama. He's got Johnson on him. And he'll look for it again. Gets inside, moves, and airballed it badly. I don't know if that was a pass. Wemby sets the feet, pump fake, open look. It's going to go in. Yup. It was going to happen soon enough, and the Spurs have the Sally down pat. I don't know what the background is, the context behind that, but it is definitely something I haven't seen before. Wilson gets inside and was fouled. And Milton hits another 3 just to show off how on fire he is, picking up right where he left off in the fourth quarter yesterday. So 50-49. 3 minutes into this second half. It's been pretty neck and neck. Johnson gets by. Layup. Oh, God, he's badly missed that one. He had an open 2. And now Wembanyama's going to push. We need to knock it away. He's just completely lost the ball. And that's good defense by Wilson, who planted himself in the lane. Wemby was coming at him like a freight train. But a good knockaway. It's a vital knockaway. Claxton wasn't even back, so good defense. Oh my God, mate. Just a blind pass. Another turnover. A layup. It's a wild miss. We've got to get the rebound. Saved by Vassell. Wembanyama is going to back down Claxton. Hang off one leg. Hit back iron. Rebound by Claxton. Good defense again. Forcing that tough 2. You love to see it. Johnson. Guarded by Paul. Milton in the corner. 8 to shoot. High screen. Drive down the middle. Stops. Foul. There we go. It's good work by Shake. Had the defender in the air. Sohan flew by, but did so whilst fouling. So, 8 minutes to play here. Good start by the Nets here. I'm not mad about it. So, free throws here for Shake. Makes the first. Ties it at 50. Shake's had a really good game. I would almost go as far to say he's been nearly our best player. Definitely on the offensive side, looked the most fluent. Definitely the most efficient. The stats do not lie. And I think on the defensive end, Claxton's done a superb job. So we have our first free throws of the second half. Spurs still have not taken an attempt from in there. Wembanyama's left alone for another 3. You cannot do that. Don't do it. What are you doing? That's just way too easy. Wembanyama's already got 8 in the quarter. Milton puts the head down. Claxton has an open 2. And it's off. Oh my God, Finney-Smith out of nowhere nearly got the bucket to go, but the rim denied it. Milton 3 is an air ball. He's way too far back. They get it ahead to Wembanyama. That was definitely intended for Barnes. A step back 3. Oh my God. That is just absolutely incredible. How does a fucking 7'3", 20-year-old score a step back 3 with like 2 players outstretched arms, hand in the face. It's just unbelievable. Wilson gets rid, blew the layup. Goodness me, that's an absolute gimme. He's missed it. Early offense, Sohan, layup. There's a foul, and it's on Finney-Smith, and there'll be a trip at the line. So the minute Wembanyama has started to make buckets, it's no coincidence that that has contributed to success for the San Antonio Spurs. He's got 11 in the quarter. The Spurs have 15 total in the quarter. So it's been all Wembanyama, and I don't even... Like, there's no other way to frame it. Because it is just facts. Let me brighten this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so a 5-point game. Spurs will get free throws after this timeout. I feel like the Nets need to regroup. It's a smart timeout. Literally, it's honestly Wembanyama. Like, there's not really anything else to say. 6 of 11. He was 2 of 6, so he's made 4 of his first 5 shots. He's hit a couple 3-pointers in the quarter as well. 3 of them, actually. And he hasn't missed. So, it was all going well. But it could only last for so long. We're tired. Some of it is the offensive system. Some of it is him not being forceful. He's said himself he needs to be better. What is the Nets' problem? So inconsistent. Beat the Bucks, then play crap today. For the record, they played like shit yesterday. I would argue they played even worse yesterday until like the end of the third quarter. This like, look, Brett, we've got to face the facts here. Are you aware of what this starting lineup was? We have no Cam Johnson or Ben Simmons. Those two were actually critical pieces of the win yesterday. Cam Johnson dropped 29 and Ben had 9 assists, I think, or something along those lines. He was massive. Who else are we missing? Well, Cam Thomas was missing yesterday, but he's just a big out, full stop. We've started Keon Johnson and Jalen Wilson, who were two-way players last year. Finney-Smith is Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, he should be playing on a contending team right now. Claxton is, you see what you get. And Shake Milton was like on the end of the Minnesota bench for like 2 years. And he's bounced around like, I reckon he's been at 4 teams in the last 3 years. So really the expectations shouldn't be that high. But I've liked the effort here. We've got to temper expectations, right? Like, I'll get pissed at like if we turn the ball over carelessly, this or that. I'm not going to be mad if we lose, as long as the effort's there and the method is there. We've missed a lot of gettable shots. Jalen Wilson's fallen off a cliff in the last few games. I tell you what, had a really good start to the season that correlated with our wins piling up early on. But lately, he has been absolute dross. So, first free throws of the second half for San Antonio after they had those in abundance in the first half. 19 to be exact. Second free throw short. Clowney secures the board. So, lead of half a dozen for San Antonio. I don't think they've had a lead this large in the entire match. So, the Nets need to trim this down. They've made a change, I believe. Clowney's in. Wilson gets inside. Euro, kick out. Milton, no room to shoot. 5 to shoot, though, so he's got to work something out here and work things out on the fly. Head down, reverse, block at the rim by Wemby. And he just needed to sit at the rim because he knew that shot was going to go up, and then the splash by Vassell. So he's had a shocking game today, but that 3 will cap off a resounding 10-0 run here to have the Spurs up by 9. Finney-Smith, can he respond? Nope. Rebound by Wembanyama. And now Chris Paul is going to bring it up. Going to need to get a few stops here. It's got to start with Wembanyama. Like, they're looking for him, and it's an easy roll, but a good read by Clowney. The alley-oop was on. And the Nets have got to capitalize here. It's a 5-on-4. This is what really baffles me. We don't look remotely interested in capitalizing on a 4-on-5, but Clowney hits the tray. Good relocation into the corner, and he hits a very important shot to end that 10-0 sprint. Finney Smith now guarding Wembanyama in the post. Vassell guarded by Claxton on the outside, top of the key. Good cut by Barnes. Oh my God, I don't know how Clowney hasn't gotten that block there. I thought he had that completely covered. Wilson to Finney Smith on the outside. Thought about the three. He's going to drive it in. Spin move. Picks up his dribble. Claxton. He's got to put that 2 up. It's on offer. Finney Smith has this 3 on offer he's got to make. And it was off. Wilson missed. And there was a foul. And Wembanyama definitely got hit in the face because he is holding the nose region right now. Definitely looking a lot worse for wear. So, yeah, Wilson went up. And it looks like on the follow-through, he's just completely cleaned up Wembanyama on the jaw. And they probably may do a concussion protocol for this. Oh, so Wilson's gone up and his head has gone directly into the jaw of Wembanyama, who will go down to the locker room, I'm assuming for a concussion check. Sharp is in the game. Oh my God, Dayron, mate. What are you doing? Stop passing the fucking ball. Layup is missed, but there's no box out attempt. And Johnson follows through to score the 2. And what's going on? There's a timeout. Okay, that was a little bit random. Wasn't there just... Yeah, that's... This has been a tough third quarter, let's just say that. Spurs are outscoring us 23-13. It was all square at the break. It was an 11-point lead for the Nets at quarter time, but since quarter time, they've only scored 32 points in, how long's that? 20 minutes. It's not going to cut it. Unfortunately, it's not going to cut it. Wembanyama's been big for them in this third quarter. He's got half of their points in this third quarter, 15 points to be exact. And they've got a number of other contributors who have hit their baskets when they've needed to. They're actually shooting the 3 ball superbly. The 2-pointers have lifted. They're like 8 of 11 in the quarter from the field. Meanwhile, the Nets have been on struggle street. The Nets have actually held the Spurs off the free throw line, but the issue is that they've just been below par in drawing the fouls themselves, which is very much a shame, because now that the discipline's there, they're actually giving up open looks. So that's a little bit of a letdown, if I'm going to be completely honest. Milton's been very good, though. 14 points and 6 dimes. I mean, only the 1 turnover too. He's been awesome. But really, like, Dorian Finney-Smith has needed to make his shots. He's 0 of 4. So, look, it's not fun. Scoring 54 points in nearly 3 quarters of basketball. We're just fortunate that the Spurs have been equally garbage. I must be one of the few that wants to lose so we can get that top 5 pick. Winning meaningless games doesn't do anything for us. Don't be surprised if CJ is traded. Look, I'm not the kind of person to be completely naive to the fact that losing gets you a good pick. I'm fine with that. But look, if there's a game, if we win a game every 5 games, it's not gonna kill us. And I feel like winning is very good for the group. And I've said this before. We need the like reinforcement that Geordie is getting buy-in from his players. I feel like it's not good for a team to lose 15 games in a row. I just don't think it's good for the morale of a group. Because, like, if the team's playing hard and they're not getting a result every so often, then it's a problem. Look, tonight's probably not a good night to win, given we won last night. But that being said, I still want to see us making shots, you know? 54 points is just garbage. Like, we'll be lucky if we hit 80 points at this rate. The Nets have got Martin back into the contest. He had a good first half. Milton on the outside. They're looking for Sharp, who's got Champagny on him in the paint, but they can't get it there. Wilson lost his footing, and it's out off San Antonio. As they dove for the ball, Wilson lost the handle, had the chair taken out from underneath him, and then Champagny was in contact with the sideline. There's 3 seconds to get a shot up here with 4:06 to play in the third quarter. It's Milton triggering in now. They're going to look for Martin, who's got to get one up. Tough two. It's up there. He nearly banked it home, but it's off. And that's not what you want out of the timeout. So the Spurs can get it out to a dozen. Here's Castle. Cross court to Champagny. Hit 3 threes in the first half. Good take by Martin, who stole the ball. The pickpocket. And now Clowney down the middle. Gets inside. Why has he passed that ball off? Gives it to Wilson, who has absolutely nothing on. He's going to need to work something out here. Gives it to Milton with 7 to shoot. It's got to make something happen. Gets inside. Hangs. And that's a good take. He's got 16 in the game now. And the Nets get this one back down to 8. In these non-Wemby minutes, you got to capitalize. Beautiful find to Champagny, and he's hit another tray. Like, that's a great find. Good make. He's hit 4 threes in the game. Milton would have had a bit of space for the 3. Martin takes it inside. Shoots the layup. Nice. Smart move there. Scores with the left hand. Gets it back down to 9. Castle across to Sohan. Johnson in the paint. Dayron comes to help. Oh my God. There's nothing you can do about that. Martin with an interesting handle. Wilson's going to shoot a 3. That's a bad miss. Clowney gets the board, puts one back up, and gets it in. He wanted a whistle. Didn't get it, but the Nets are doing, I guess, a good job of keeping the scoring ticking over. They've got to get a few stops, though. If we can get this to within like 6 or 7, I wouldn't be too mad. Good rollover by Sharp as Sohan rolled. Champagny, drive in. Now he's got Sharp on him on the perimeter. 6 to shoot. It's good defense. Clowney, the help. Forces the miss. Get the rebound. And Wilson does so. We're going to push the pace. Final 2 minutes of this third quarter. 3 for Milton. Oh, God. I thought that was in. I was halfway through saying yes. But now I'm saying a big fat no. 9-point game. Keon Johnson back in. Milton will sit. Good minutes by him. Wilson will also sit. That would have been a big 3. I would have loved to see that one go down. But unfortunately, we can't have nice things. We have to take what we're given. Beekman's into the game again. The 2-way player who we got in the trade for Dennis Schroeder. Castle. The pass to Barnes. Guarded by Clowney. Vassell. Back out to Castle. And now Keldon Johnson. He travelled. So the Nets get a stop. Ball inbounded. So Nets down 9. 90 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Sharp will hand it back off to Beekman, and now Martin will stagger. Cross. Gets inside. Good move. It's off. Dayron, the putback dunk. Filthy. That was ferocious. Barnes, guarded by Sharp, gets by that man, and then he bounced it off the foot. How do they keep that alive? Please don't hit the 3. Oh my fucking God, bro. Are you joking? They lost the handle as well, and they still made it work. They've hit 6 of their 7 3-pointers in the quarter. Not even high volume, and they've still made it work. Clowney Traveled. For fuck's sake, bro. Fucking pisses me off, man. When you are so close, you are this close to getting a steal, and you end up conceding a 3-pointer, bro. And Castle isn't even a good 3-point shooter. That's the fucking annoying part. Good defense by Beekman, who disrupted the initial handle. Drive in by Vassell, lost the ball. No! No way! That's bullshit. 31.5 seconds left. Champagne will inbound to Vassell. Weaves through. That's... I mean, there's absolutely no one in the paint even defending that. That was just pretty piss poor. We're going to hold for one. There's like a 0.5 second difference between shot and game. The lead is 12. Just for the love of God, don't do anything stupid. 10 to shoot. Johnson's going to hold. Clowney will set the high screen with 5 to shoot and then loses the basketball. Oh my God. No, he's fucking fouled him. You idiots. Oh my fucking God. No way. He didn't even get him. Oh my God, I'm rubbing my eyes because is this a dream? Is this a dream? Oh my God, and we're actually challenging this. Is this a fucking dream or what? How have you fucking called a foul on that? They've called illegal screens for screens that weren't even for shit that wasn't even a screen. They've called fouls like that where there's not even a slap on the hand. What is that, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? He hasn't even touched the man, bro. He hasn't even touched him. And we've had to exhaust the challenge on this BS. We're going to win another challenge, though. I've never seen a coach take a challenge with 0.2 left on the clock. It's not even... The fact it's even taken this long is criminal, mate. We've been absolutely fucking done in by the refs today, mate. Far out. It's actually a joke that they've called that. If I speak, I will be in trouble. That's not even close to a foul. The fact they're still looking at that is ridiculous. 0.2 seconds on the clock, and they've called that. No, you're fucking kidding me. They get the ball back. How do they get the ball back? We won the challenge. How do they get the ball back? They've shot it on the bottom of the backboard. I can't even believe that. I cannot believe that. That is just staggering news. So the Spurs have 0.2 seconds to get up some miracle shot here. They're going to look for the lob. And we do well. They actually collected the ball, but they weren't able to tip it in. It's three-quarter time. The Spurs score 33 points in that third quarter. It's headlined by an 11-point Victor Wembanyama quarter. He was on for only half the quarter, though. The Nets just, I mean, they've looked dog shit basically all game long from the field. It was only a matter of time before the Spurs took over. And it is a 20-point swing since quarter time. It's sort of crazy to think because they only had 8 points in the first 11 minutes of the game. If you are enjoying the stream, though, you're probably enjoying seeing me crash out because I feel like that's all you're going to be seeing from me this season. But if you are enjoying me crashing out, then drop a like, I guess. And you can also subscribe if you are new to see me crash out even more when we probably lose to the Toronto Raptors in the new year. We do have one more game left this 2024 calendar year. It is against Orlando, but we are not covering that game. But we will be back next week when the new year hits for Nets Toronto. So make sure to drop in for that game. Don't forget, if you want to be notified, subscribe to the channel because most games, or I try to do as many games as I possibly can. So if that is something that entices you, then feel free. We are down 12. We have got 1 quarter to play. The Nets are going to need to basically do the exact equivalent of what they did in the first quarter to basically get this game back on their terms, really. It's a 12-point deficit they need to make up. And look, it's going to need to be as generational as the first quarter in terms of defense because the middle 2 quarters have left a lot to be desired after the Spurs started 3 of 24. Believe it or not, 3 of 24 from the field. Since that point, they've gone 21 of 35, which is well over 50%. I mean, that's pushing 60% actually. So couldn't be really much larger of a turnaround. You won't see too much larger of a turnaround in basketball. We've got 1 quarter to play. Spurs are going to get this one underway. They've got Trey Jones, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Champagny, and Wembanyama on the court. And are we seriously going to have to use another challenge again? Yep, we're using another challenge again because these guys cannot visually see shit. Jordy's complaining because he's like, I've had to use 2 challenges in fucking 20 seconds of game time because you can't see shit. It's ridiculous, mate. He said to use 2 challenges because this lot can't see shit that's directly in front of him. Like, mate, they could have a fucking magnifying glass on the play and they still wouldn't see it. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just ridiculous. So they're going back to the monitor and it's like we're... Fucking hell, man. It just does my head in half the time. So, look, in order for the Nets to win in this fourth quarter, it would be damn helpful if... Hang on, let me just have a look and see what... Is this out off them? Oh, it is. It is! How do you not see that? The official is 1 meter away. Oh my God. That couldn't be any clearer. Front row seats to the action, and you can't see that. You're not even on the weak side. You can see it. Oh my God, these guys need to get their eyes tested, bro. So we have used 2 timeouts to win both challenges. I mean... It's a handy challenge to win because it actually means we can get into this deficit a little bit to start off this final quarter, which is basically incredibly necessary. I mean, the turnovers have got to be beefed up for the Spurs in order for us to win. We've got to be tenacious on the defensive end. Force that ball out of Wemby's hands, really. That's going to be the method. That's how it's got to happen. Alrighty. So it's a 12-point game. The Nets are going to get the basketball here because they deserve it. So the Nets have won 23 challenges this season already. That's just an unbelievable success rate. 23 out of 33 they've won. It's sort of crazy. It's the best mark in the league. Most challenges and most successful challenges. So Beekman out there with Claxton, Finney-Smith, Johnson, and Tyrese Martin. Here is Claxton now, top of the key, 8 to shoot. Fakes the handoff. Go yourself, mate. Oh my God. Contested 3 for Johnson is off. You're not even testing the defense with that. We need Clax to actually take it to Wembanyama. Just try. Try something new. Trey Jones, 3 is off. Board for Claxton. Get into the offense early. Push it. Go. Go at him. Euro. Layup. Good. +1. I fucking said it. Mates. It's not rocket science, bro. Wemby is gonna get bodied if you go at him. He tried to draw a charge, but if you can get that Euro right, it's working every single time. So that's a really good start to the fourth there. And Claxton makes the free throw too to just get the full reward from that. They give it to Wemby straight off the inbounds. Claxton's going to pick him up. Do not let him get across. Don't let him get across. Don't let him get across. Come on! Let's go! Good Clax. 8-second violation on Wemby. He took his jolly old time there. And so the Nets have forced a couple of early turnovers in the fourth. And they can get into this deficit a little bit more here. Martin tried to feed Claxton, but wasn't able to get it to him. Johnson gets inside. Layup. Block out of absolutely nowhere by Wemby. Fast break. And Johnson with the finger roll. There's nothing you can do about that. Beekman tries to get into the offense early. It was good acceleration too by, I think it was Keon Johnson. But oh my God. How many times? How many times are you going to turn it over like that? It's simple turnovers too. It's all those turnovers at the top of the key and on the wings above the break. And you just don't have any defense back. So those are killer turnovers right there. Completely undoes the early quarter efforts. Extra by Martin. I feel like he stood on the sideline. Johnson to Martin, who relocated. It's an open 3, and he's missed. So you got to make those if you want to cut into the deficit. Here's Wembanyama. Lobbed it up to absolutely no one, and Claxton gets the steal. Who's going to push it? He's got Trey Jones on him. They're playing a bit of zone here. There's an open look for Beekman. That's a bad miss. And the rebound by the Spurs. Trey Jones will push. Kick out to Champagny. That's just an open look. That one rims out. Board for Finney-Smith. They're keeping us in the contest, but our shots aren't going down. It's Finney-Smith who needs to... Well, he's got Wembanyama on the perimeter, so we need to drive it in. Except we shoot a 3, and Keon Johnson basically said to me, fuck you, I'm going to shoot the 3 anyway. And he converts. So it's a timeout. It's a 10-point game. The Nets have outscored the San Antonio Spurs to start this fourth quarter. Why bother watching the rest of this game? I mean, because you're a Nets supporter. That's why you watch. It's really that simple. It's not really rocket science, right? Just you got to ride the ups and downs of supporting this team because it is bloody eventful. The Nets have got 13 out of Keon Johnson, 11 out of Claxton, who's been a little bit less assertive in this second half. Tyrese Martin with 9. Finney Smith has really been a nobody on offense. And Shake Milton's been the high man with 16 and 7. The three balls really dried up for the Nets. The free throws haven't been nearly as abundant as they need to be because the Spurs have, well, they did a lot of the hard yards in the first half. Even when the shooting wasn't all that good for them, you know, the free throws were the thing that kept the scoring ticking over. So when, you know, the shots did start falling, well, you know, that separation could be created. So they've been much more efficient than we have. We've actually taken 8 extra shots and made one more, but clearly with that those extra 8 shots, we haven't, you know, done nearly enough with that. 3-point shooting's been inefficient. And yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to make up for that severe free throw disparity. That is the difference in this game right now. I mean, we've had 5 free throw makes to their 15, and the lead is 10. So that's the major difference maker. We've also had 15 turnovers. It does not help when every single player on your team has turned the ball over at least once. So, look, we've started not awfully in this second half, but you know, like 10 points is nothing really, but we've still got a lot of work to do. Alrighty. So the Nets have basically got to do what they haven't done really all game. Offensively, they've not scored more than 22 points in a quarter. You would think that they need to score at least 30 in order to succeed. Alrighty. So the Spurs will inbound. Sohan is back in. 9 minutes to play. Trey Jones, going to bring it up. Guarded by Beekman. Paul now, back in the contest too. Where is the foul there? Some movement off the ball or some contact off the ball. It's Clowney who will pick up his 4th personal. Chris Paul will do the triggering in. They're going to look for Wembanyama. We're playing a small ball lineup now. No Sharp. In absence of Claxton. Jones. Cross to Champagny. Gets inside. Kick out to Sohan for 3. It's off. No. Nah, I'm sorry. That is just garbage. Absolute flop. And the refs buy into it. It's a joke. He's made an absolute meal of that. Oh, that's just... there's absolutely nothing in that, and they've called it. So the Spurs get another crack, despite us forcing a miss. Here's Paul in the mid-range, shoots over Finney Smith, and he hits. That's like the dagger to the chest right there, because you got the stop, and then refs bail him out, really. Here's Clowney. 8:30 to play. He's looking for a handoff. There's just no option. 6 to shoot, and we've barely done anything with it. Johnson's 3 is short. Wembanyama gets the rebound. And they feed Sohan. They're not able to secure the entry past the Nets, and another easy 2 under the basket. Don't have the size. I don't know what our matchups are. But obviously, we're trying to go with a bit more shooting out there. But Shake Milton hasn't been in the game for a long time. Beekman for 3. It's a bad miss. You can tell he's a G League level player because his 3s look so off. At least he's getting the exposure, I guess. Good roll. Sohan, another layup. We have no size. And it's now a 16-point lead. This lead's ballooned instantly. Johnson, good layup. Quick 2 there. After the Spurs have done much the same. Wembanyama on the perimeter. Good defense by Wilson. Here's Wembanyama again. Numbers roll over. Wembanyama misses. Get the rebound. How have they got it again? Champagny hits another wide open three because you can't get a fucking rebound. Oh my god. We forced another Wembanyama miss. 2 consecutive possessions, I think, where we've given up, or 2 of the last 3 possessions, we've given up second chance points. Not going to win games doing that bullshit. Or you're not going to be in a contest if you can't secure. Especially when you're struggling to get stops as it is. Yeah. That does my head in. Alrighty, so it is a 17-point lead. It probably is fairly far gone now, but definitely yeah, it's probably done now, but I mean, we can, of course, we're gonna still watch the game. You know, this team could do some confusing shit in the final 7 minutes of the game, but I mean, shorthanded Orlando outscored Miami by 29 in a fourth quarter. Who else? Atlanta scored 50 last night to come back from 15 down at three-quarter time. I mean, granted, I don't think we haven't even scored 50 in 2 quarters combined at any stage in this game. So look, it's a 17-point lead. We've had no answers in the fourth quarter. It's pretty obvious. Haven't had the size. Very, very odd lineup. Very odd lineup we were running with. No big. While Wembanyama's out there. Well, we did have a big, but we're playing small ball 5, which is a bit strange given I feel like the Claxton Wemby minutes should have correlated. I don't know, that's just a thought. But the Nets are going to run here with Claxton and Clowney on the floor now. Johnson, Wilson, kick out. Milton, no space. Good double. 4 to shoot, so Johnson just has to put one up. He's hit another 3. He's actually been, like, his shot has looked really good today, which is a good surprise. Vassell? Response? Nope. Rebound by Clowney, as that 3 was well short. Claxton can push. Go at Wemby. Euro. Oh, that's a bad miss. Wemby the contest. Paul steps into a 3. Brick. Long rebound Johnson. We can go early here. Johnson, layup. Gets it to go again. So at the halfway point of this fourth quarter, it's back down to a dozen. So definitely still in touch, but got to get these stops. Vassell to Sohan on the weak side, and now Wembanyama. Drive in. What the hell is going on? There was literally no one in the lane, and they just watched Wembanyama take it in himself. I feel like there could have been an illegal block off the screen, but they never call those. Johnson again scores, and he's got 7 straight for the Nets. 2s, 3s, you name it. So he's had a good game. Trey Jones is going to bring it up. 5:18 to play. Got to press this. But we just allow an open 3 in the corner, so it completely defeats the purpose of a fucking blitz. I don't understand how many times or why we blitz, but then we're blitzing and leaving a threatening shooter open. It doesn't make any sense to me. Wilson stops, and there's just another block. Wemby's taken the piss, because with that height, why would you not? Milton, extra, 1 more, and we have run out of time. Complete lack of regard for how much time we had on the clock. So 4:40 to play. Looks like a three's been chalked off. Or I just miscalculated. It's a 14-point lead. Vassell to Sohan on the wing. That's another easy blow by. Oh my god. He nearly put Clax on a poster, but he blew the dunk. Pushed the pace. It's a 5-on-4. Milton, extra. Johnson, open three. Yes! Johnson has scored 10 straight. So he's having a Shake Milton type quarter here. Chris Paul looking for Wemby, who just hit the deck. So good work by Claxton to deny that. What? What do you mean? How have you called a foul? What? Oh my god, he's called a fucking technical. And Clowney's been tossed. He's been tossed. Clowney's had a really tough game today. Hasn't made his shots, and he's been pinged for so many bullshit fouls. So many bullshit fouls. And that was that foul right there was where the pin dropped. That was the tipping point right there. That's where the threshold was breached. Clowney has had enough. He's fucking pissed. Because these fouls are actually a joke. He's calling fouls for fucking nothing. Like, where's the foul for here? Let's have a look. Are you fucking... I cannot believe they have called that a foul. And he got teed up for nothing. He got teed up for nothing. It's fucking bullshit, mate. I would have been tossed in the second quarter. Jordi Fernandez is in the shits as well. Extended conversations with the officials because it's just been a proper stitch up today. Like, there's just no explanation for how any of that, like, even the one at 3/4 time, that's the compounding frustration, or the frustration piling up. Because it all culminates. If you keep calling bullshit, the player's going to get more and more upset because they feel like they're hard done by. And for Noah, he's had 2 or 3 of those where they've just been nothing fouls. I think there was one earlier in the quarter too. So in his minutes, he's just been plagued by the whistle. And it is a joke. So 4 minutes to play. It's an 11-point game. The Nets have put up a fight in this fourth quarter, which I think is pretty admirable. If you are enjoying the stream, I guess, though, make sure to show your support on this. Drop a like and subscribe. We're live in the new year. Paul is well short on the tee, so that's justice served right there. We won't be... Wait, there's a double... Oh, yeah, there's 2 technicals. What bullshit. Paul will get another go and hit the second. So he splits the 2 technicals. 12-point lead. 4 minutes to play. And yeah, as I was saying, we won't be doing the Magic game, which is in a couple of days, but we will be back in the new year. First up for Nets Raptors. Make sure to tune in for that. Paul on the outside. Wembanyama's got Milton on him in the post. Numbers got to collapse. Blocked by Claxton. Get the board. Go, 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 go. Martin. Acceleration. Good by Wilson. And it's a goaltend. So Wembanyama got there, but he got there late. So he got blocked on one end, and then on the other side, wasn't able to repeat the dose. Or are they challenging the goaltend? Brooklyn have... Oh, yeah, they are challenging it. So they've got a spare timeout in the back pocket, so they might as well use it. I feel like this one's going to be pretty close. I thought Wemby may have gotten there. But we are going to have the ball regardless because Wilson did score or did have the ball in his hands after the block. Excuse me. Let's see. Is it on the way down? No, he's hit the rim. Did he swat the rim? Did he swat the net? Is that like a basket interference or something? I don't know. Unless they call it for that, I reckon that's just a clean block. Let's do a box score check in the meantime. So the Nets are outscoring the Spurs 20-18 in the quarter. Wembanyama's got 17. Keon Johnson has 25. And he's hit 4 threes on 10 of 18 shooting total. That's impressive. That's really impressive. Like, he's been on fire in this fourth quarter. Milton's got 16 and 9. Good efficiency. I didn't think Keon Johnson was going to take 18 shots in this game, but here we are. No Finney Smith to close the game out because he's coming back from injury. And so no real need to play him excessive minutes. And Clowney got tossed because he's been hit with a ton of personal fouls, which probably haven't been there. Let's see what the verdict is. They're probably going to stitch us up. Didn't he interfere with the basket though? Didn't they hit like he hit the net or the basket? I don't know if you're allowed to do that just normally. I would have thought that's an interference with the net. But, I mean, the Nets are going to get another opportunity here then. Back at 12 now, so unfortunately that's not going to matter. He's got 6 blocks in the game. Only the 17 points for Wemby, though, in a game where the offense has definitely not been the greatest viewing spectacle. Milton will inbound. We've got 17 to shoot. Ball's got to come in. Milton inbounds to Martin. Screen by Claxton. Relocation by Johnson. He's feeling it. Oh, God, that's a shocking miss. And the Nets will recycle it with 7 to shoot. So 3:31 left in the game. 7 seconds on the clock to get one up. Nets will have it on the baseline after that 3-point attempt was missed by Johnson. Got to get it in. It's into Martin. Oh, my God. The Claxton move was a decoy and Martin was open. So it's a 10-point game. Oh my God, what is that? Multiple bodies went down. Chris Paul's going to slow things right down. He'll use that experience. He knows that time is their friend. And for the opposition, it is the enemy. So he'll use as much clock as he needs to. Sohan, extra to Johnson. Kick out to Vassell. Drive in, stops, tough 2, it's off, rebound. Oh my God. Clax, I cannot believe he's allowed that. We had the numbers in the paint too to get the rebound. Vassell, 3, misses, get the board, go. 2:40 to play, Johnson, extra, Wilson, one more, 3. Oh God, what the fuck, bro? I would have even taken that in because Wembanyama was not back. So 2:35 to play. Vassell's going to sit down. Trey Jones is going to come back in, which is an interesting sub with 2:35 to play. That 3 would have made it very interesting, though, down 7 with 2:30 to play. Got to get it in. They get it into Paul. And now Trey Jones. They've got to get it across Get it across half court. Have they seriously called that a foul? Oh my god, these fucking officials, bro. It's just bullshit that they've called that a foul as well. End my suffering, fam. Trey Jones. Gonna use the screen. Knock away. Steal. Go! Push it. Martin. Oh my god, he's put up a 3. Why would you shoot the ball? You fucking had the numbers. We've had so many stops as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is just ridiculous. Putting up contested threes with 20 seconds left on the clock. And now Wemby will score. No, he won't. He'll get fouled with 1:59 to play. 2 opportunities there to get it down to potentially 6 with 2 minutes to play. But the shot selection means that you just absolutely fluff the opportunity. 2 free throws now for San Antonio. This has been a really ugly match. No two ways about it. It'll be Wemby at the line for a couple of free throws here. And he makes the first to get it out to 11. Surely now. Alrighty. One more free throw here. And that's good. So a 12-point game. And look, it probably could have been half that if, as I said, we didn't shoot contested 3-pointers early in the clock. And now we've turned it over. So that well and truly is going to probably be the final nail in the coffin. 18 turnovers for the Nets. The 18th occurring just then. Jones just lost the ball, was able to save, but Milton cuts it off, intercepts, gets the steal. Wilson steps into a 3, and he hits the tray to cut it to 9. But you would think it's probably too far gone now with 90 seconds to play. Gonna need to get stops the rest of the way. I cannot believe they've called another foul for that shit. Are you fucking serious? I can't fucking believe that. That is just so soft. Fucking hell. When you try to pinpoint the reasons as to why the ratings are supposedly down, I don't necessarily believe that. But one of the cases you could make is the fact that they call these fucking bullshit fouls that slows the game down. Let the game run. Like, fucking hell, if you're calling that illegal, like, where's the fun in that? So 11-point game. Martin gonna drive in. Good separation created on Wembanyama with 1 minute to play. Ball inbounded. We press, but not all that effectively. Johnson's gonna get blitzed. Pass it across court. Nearly stole it. Paul will look for the space on the court, which he can attack. He gives it to Trey Jones. They feed Sohan. Wembanyama back out of Paul. They got 4 to shoot. Got to get one up. Shoots off one leg and it's an air ball. Go! Oh my god. They've called that a foul as well. I think there was nothing in that too. Paul will pick it up. So 96-87 with 44 seconds to play. Milton's going to bring it up. Gets it to the corner. Claxton's going to try one and he misses. And that's probably going to do it. So 96-87 is probably going to end up being the final score. It was a valiant effort by the Nets. They held the Spurs to under 100, but as has been the case since we've lost Dennis Schroeder, we just simply don't have the offense. There's been a ton of games where we just haven't been able to score over 100 points. And it's come down to multiple things. A lot of turnovers, not capitalizing on the break enough. Martin misses another 3, which has also been another issue, making 3-pointers. That's been inconsistent as hell. But Wembanyama is, he led the way again. The third quarter is where they created the separation. The Nets did well in the fourth quarter to sort of make a game out of it and make things a little bit interesting. But this one ultimately ends in a Spurs victory by 9. The Nets did win 2 of the 4 quarters, but it was just those middle 2 quarters were brutal, where we conceded 63 points and we only scored 40. So overall, the offense was not there. The defense was there. We had a pretty good game in that respect, but definitely left a little bit on the table. If you are leaving now, make sure to drop a like on the way out and subscribe. We will do a little box score check, and then I will wrap things up for 2024, really. If you want to hang around just until the end, I won't be too long. We'll just run through the box score very quickly. Shake Milton ends with 12 assists. That almost, I would say, is a career high. I don't think he's ever had that many assists before, but he had a pretty good game. Keon Johnson with 25. Claxton with a double-double, but I would have loved to have seen more in the second half from him offensively. Wilson ends with 3 made threes, but he was very inefficient on the interior. That was probably a reflection of how present Victor Wembanyama was. And then off the bench, Clowney and Sharp, they weren't too effective. Finney-Smith had a very, well, I was going to say hit or miss, but he missed nearly every shot. And that was pretty disappointing from him. But Keon Johnson with 25 and 4 made threes on 50% shooting is the best game he has had in Nets colors. And it's a bit of a shame that he didn't have contributors around him, because maybe we would have had a bit of a better sniff. For the Spurs, you'll be very cut if you wanted Wembanyama to score 20, because he only scored 19 and he ended the game 7 of 14 from the field. He had 6 blocks. Definitely a huge piece of why the Spurs won today. That rim protection was highly valued. Vassell shot it very poorly. Sohan had a double-double, and I couldn't have told you he had 14 rebounds until I saw just now. And really, Champagny with 18 off the bench on 6 of 9 shooting. That is massive in a game you don't even score 100. And Keldon Johnson also had a pretty inefficient contest. So look, really, it all came down to defense. And really, the Nets, they shot at 35 of 90, which is not a great mark at all. Only the 12 made threes. And it looks like the bloody box score has decided to shit itself, which is not really surprising at all. Let me just go to the... Yeah, the Spurs, they actually had 13 less shots, but the problem is they had 19 more free throws. And that was another key piece of the win today. The Nets only had 8 free throw attempts. In a game they scored 87 points, they really could have done with getting 20 free throws. On top of that, they turned the ball over way too much. And the Nets had 12 extra 3-point attempts. I think they'd be happy with the amount of attempts, but the output was not good enough. Martin going 1 of 7, Clowney going 1 of 4, and then Finney-Smith going 0 of 4. Those numbers do not help you one bit. Overall, though, I think it was a pretty valiant effort. Holding Wembanyama to 19 is a good performance when you look at things from a defensive standpoint. And no Spur got more than 20. But it was just the fact that they had a bit more scoring in abundance across the board, whereas the Nets were really lacking for scoring power off the bench. I mean, they got 13 out of Martin, which I actually didn't think was the case. He was good with the 2s, but the 3s definitely left a bit on the table. So overall, not a bad performance, and that is going to be me done for the 2024 calendar year. Thank you for tuning in. Some of you have only recently come across the streams. Some of you have been here from the start or been here a lot longer. So I thank you for tuning in to these streams, tuning in today, tuning in at any point this season or over the seasons. Definitely a tumultuous period of time for the Nets right now because we don't know really what's happening. We don't know how many wins we're going to be subjected to this year, but regardless, I think it makes for a bit of entertainment not knowing what comes next, rather than just expecting us to be super bad or expecting us to be super good. It feels like this team is well coached and they definitely buy into what Geordie is doing. So hopefully the 2025 year has something exciting in store, and hopefully we're drafting good in 2025 as well, so we can look forward to a better future. But until the next stream, we will be back for Nets Toronto. I think it's on New Year's Day if you're in the US. If you're in Australia, or depending on your time zone, it could be on the 2nd. So Happy New Year to you all. Enjoy the celebrations. We will catch you in 2025, but until then, stay safe. See you soon. Bye for now.